Hey, so somebody sent me this and asked me if I can do a video on this. I think, write the figure down. It was 95,000 illegals caught voting in Texas. And I was just like, that's it? Like, I know that's a lot. But thank you, by the way, for sending me that. I appreciate it. I wasn't ragging on you. I'm ragging on the amount of people illegally voting. So it was 95,000 caught, and out of that, it was 58,000 people were voted more than once. So I know that Hillary stole the election. I still think that Trump would have won the popular vote. And this is why one of the reasons they don't want the wall. So I have a feeling, or I wonder, after we get the wall, the border security that we really need, if they're gonna start deporting people. Because I mean, if you're caught voting, I think you should just get deported. Like, you should be deported. If you're illegal, like, I don't care if you, like, I always say, oh yeah, we should go over the criminals, but to me, like, that's just sedition right there. Like, they need to be kicked out. Like, you don't get to apply for your citizenship. You get kicked out, and those people will be made an example of. And then the people that think about voting won't be voting because they'll know that, you know, they'll I mean, they shouldn't be here anyway if they're illegal, but at the same time, like I've said before, I have friends that are legal and I know they're good people and they really do love this country. So I'm not one of these people that's like, kick them all out, but I am for letting them stand in line, like, you know, get them, like, I'm for the pathway to citizenship, you know, because it's not fair to the people that are doing it legally. So they can stay and work and stuff, but maybe on a work visa, or they have to get in line. They can't just be citizens like that. They have to wait, okay, like everybody else, because that's just not fair. But I'm sorry, like, if you're voting, you need to get out. You're done. You're gone. I mean, you're not a citizen. We won't be able to do that. And I wouldn't even disrespect another person's country by going to their country and trying to vote in their elections, even if I'm a permanent resident there. Like, when I was living in Taiwan, I didn't speak the language well enough to really understand what was going on, but I have friends that are, you know, legal immigrants, and they live there, and they get like a thing after 5 years, and you know the language, you have to know Chinese. You can't just be like not knowing Chinese and trying to live in Taiwan, but you can get something, I forgot the name of it, it's the equivalent of like a green card. I don't know if you can apply for citizenship, but I know you can get something equivalent to a green card, because I had a friend who had been there for like 5 years and he was super happy, and he was this white boy that spoke Chinese like a Chinese person, and he was, you know, he applied, and, you know, he got his little Taiwanese green card, whatever it's called. So, you know, when I was there, I had ID, and it's funny because there were illegal, like, whites and blacks and people of other nationalities teaching under the table in Taiwan, teaching English. So some of the lower, you know, level Taiwanese school that was trying to make money on teaching English, which, by the way, is a $1 billion industry. It's a $1 billion industry. I don't know why we don't capitalize on that here in America enough and make, you know, anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but so there are people trying to, like, open up their English schools on the down low, and they get people to work, but every 30 days you get a 30-day landing visa when you land in Taiwan, and then every 30 days you have to go, what they usually do is fly to Hong Kong for a day, which is like an hour-and-a-half flight, and then they'll stay there for a day, and then they'll come back, and then they'll get their visa renewed, and they're doing it, they're like under the table because they don't have work visas. These companies that are hiring them can't afford work visas. So, I mean, illegal immigration and benefits happen all over the world. Then they have, you know, in Taiwan, they're illegal immigrants. A lot of them come from Vietnam or Indonesia, the Philippines. They're like, you know, the Mexicans because they're so close. So, you know, when you have a country that borders, I'm looking at the map, this I'm looking at, when you have a country that borders next to a country, usually the lower class goes to the next country to seek jobs because they know that there are people that you know, want lower wage workers, and those workers are going to work for them, you know, for less money, and probably do a really good job because they're desperate. So, but this voting thing, like, this has to stop. We need to get the national ID. I don't know. I haven't seen people really push for that as much, and I really hope that, you know, I'm going to start mentioning that more, I guess. But I hope that to see more people push for that before the elections, because this is a huge problem. You know, Conservative Mexican, he did a video on some of the counties and stuff that were red that just mysteriously turned blue. And of course, you know, California is like the worst. Texas is pretty bad. Beto O'Rourke's campaign got caught, you know, under James O'Keefe's Project Veritas, saying that they were helping the migrant caravan. You know, they got caught sending a text around asking people to give, you know, illegal immigrants, you know, rides to the voting polls. You know, what the hell? Like, how isn't he even in trouble? I don't get it, you know? Then, on top of that, his whole website, he has a total, like, Spanish option. It was English, and then you can push a button and just translate the whole thing to Spanish. Who is he catering to? I don't know, illegal immigrants? Because if you're an American that's been here, you would speak English, right? If you're illegal, you would speak English. So, it's just really frustrating, because we all know that this is going on, and it doesn't seem like anybody's doing something about it. And if we don't do anything about it, then, you know, we're going to end up with Kamala Harris as president, you know. And I don't want to be like one of these people that's like, I'm going to move to Canada. I'd really rather, Mexico is actually a nicer country, I think. Well, you know, I haven't been to Canada, but Mexico is pretty cool. It's just that their government's corrupt. But as far as, like, they have really, you know, you go further south, they have nice beaches, they have rainforests, they have, like, the Amazon, like, not the Amazon, I'm sorry. They have the Aztec temples, they have, you know, a bunch of, it's very diverse, you know, they're like black Mexicans, they have a lot of, you know, Koreans and Asians in Mexico too. So it's cool. It's a cool country. It's warmer, okay? Like, Canada just seems cold. I'm sure Canadians are really nice, but if I had to be one of those people, if Kamala Harris is going to be president, I'm moving. Like, all the celebrities said that they would do, but they're still here. But, you know, they're still complaining. I'm like, I thought you said you were moving to Spain, Chelsea Handler, Barbara Streisand, you know, all these privileged people that show their privilege by saying if they don't like the president, they're just gonna move. Oh, lucky you, with your white rich privilege, move into countries where all of us have to stay here and suck up the president we hate. You know, I don't hate Trump, but I'm saying, you know, like, I don't really have that. I say that, but I can't move, so let me just pick up and move to another country. I just have to bitch and complain. But, you know, I'll do everything in my power, as far as, you know, non-violently, to make sure that Kamala Harris doesn't win. But you know they're going to cheat. You know she's going to cheat. You know, anybody that's running against Trump, they're going to cheat. They're going to do their darndest to make sure that they win this next election, because he's just already put a wrench in their shit so hard that, you know, they're already having a panic attack. I need to be packed by 2020, by the way, because I know when he wins again, like, they're probably going to be riots. So anyway, yes, we need that national ID, because this is, I mean, and we need to figure out, and I know that's not the only thing, but that's a huge step. You know, people just can't walk, like, we need to be able to have people show proof of citizenship before they vote, somehow, some way. Because it's getting out of hand. And I'm just like, 95,000 to me is still a small percentage. You know that there were probably a few million that voted at least. And then since, you know, there are people that are voting more than once, they probably voted more than once. And I know for sure, my mom works at the voting polls, and they don't have to show proof of citizenship. They can just show ID. And that's it. So some voting polls don't even ask for that. Like, they're really lenient on that. They're just like, oh, your names are okay, whatever, go vote, you know. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's what I got to say. Thank you for sending me that. Any info you guys send me on that in the comments on you know, in this particular video, please send it to me. And I will see you next time. Join my backup channel. I'll put it in the the description box. And peace, truth, love you guys. Bye-bye. Mwah.